Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to spin a ball. Anything, a football, a basketball, you can spin anything on just a finger. So what you have to do is, first step, just hold the ball tightly. First, with your right hand or left hand, anything, just hold the ball at the bottom, and then, but instead of holding like this, keep your fingers, instead of like this, keep your fingers like this. And then with your other hand, sideways, you just pull it like that. But just when you're about to pull, act like you're like gonna throw the ball in the air, but very lightly with your right hand. So first First, you have to practice to throw this very lightly. So after you're practicing, when you're done, then move to the next step, like drag. So just drag it and catch. But when you're doing like this, when you actually want more force, then the best way is just when you're about to drag, from this position, quickly move it to the side. So change from the bottom, quickly change it to the side, and just like the left hand, with the right hand also, it should nicely push. So it's like this. First hold it at the bottom, then first do this. Okay, now are you done practicing? If so, then next step, hold the ball sideways and then put the hand down, but instead don't take it sideways. Just always keep it down. But the thing is, just when you're about to like drag, keep it like this. Just when you're about to pull, just don't directly pull, or else it won't come in the correct balance. It'll just go somewhere, or it will like spin very slowly. Instead, just when you're about to spin, twist your hand like this. So just when you're about to spin, just when you are going to drag, you quickly change it back to this position, like just like this. So like that. Now, are you done with this? Now, right after this, first you drag, then while you're twisting, bring it back to normal. So just do that. Keep doing it. Now, until you got the hang of it, just keep practicing. Right after that, the next step is to just launch the ball in the air for a little bit. For example, just launch it in the air, because it's a bit hard to directly grab the football while it's just right on your neck level. So instead, try to get it to your head level, like, or even a bit more higher if you want. Okay, but if you bring it like here, if you see, it's very hard to catch. But if you do it like this, it's actually very easy to like hold the ball. So practice throwing it a little bit high. Okay, so are you done practicing? Now if so, next step, you don't need two fingers for this. But if you're a beginner, then you can actually try with two fingers first. So in your two fingers, since your middle finger is bigger, you can try and balance with that, and the index finger, it's just for support. So the ball will actually spin on the middle finger, but it just needs support. The middle finger just like has so small support because of the index finger. Now this is what happens when you spin with two hands. Actually, it won't at all be comfortable. You just keep it like this and spin. So instead, it's better you just twist your fingers. For example, like, yeah, as you saw, I did like this. I didn't do exactly this. I just kept it like this, and then I did. Okay. So first you do this, and then just when it's in the air, quickly imagine where it's about to fall, and then suddenly keep both your fingers at the bottom right now, and then like, see, just when it's in the air, predict where it's going to fall, and then just catch it. Okay, for now it doesn't have need to actually spin, but just when you launch it in the air by spinning the ball, you don't need to catch it, and you don't need to make the ball spin. First, you just try to balance the ball for like 1 second or something. One, for example, one. Okay, just try to balance the ball for a little. Or else if you're not even getting to balance yet, then you just try to at least just catch the ball, like touch the ball, like this. Just try and touch it. Then just touch it a bit, and once you continuously keep touching, you'll be able to balance it for 1-2 seconds. So now you keep doing this. So now right after you're done doing like this, and once you feel confident about catching it on your 2 fingers, next step is to just hold them still while the ball is there. If the ball looks like it's about to fall and it goes here, then you just sweep it up, and like when from here, when it's about to fall here, you just bring it here. For example, look, now the ball is about to go. That's why I'm moving continuously, because the ball is about to fall. It's like it'll easily tilt. Unless you slap it properly, it'll easily tilt. But I shall teach that slapping later. So for now, right after you're finished, with catching the ball, next you just try to let it spin. So what many people actually do is, right after they catch it, instead of just keeping their fingers together, they just rotate it continuously. But rotating won't help. They think that if they are rotating, it'll keep the ball to spin even more. But that's wrong. Instead, the ball will just fall more. There's a higher chance of the ball falling. For example, this is what happens when I keep my fingers straight. It'll continuously spin. But this is what happens when I continuously do this. Observe. Look. You saw it was very easily falling. I don't know why it didn't fall though. Yeah, see? But spin you can spin very lightly, that won't affect the ball so much. You can spin like this much, but spinning this much will not at all help. The ball will just directly fall down. So now you continuously just try to keep the ball spinning, and you can still just try and practice for like some 2-3 seconds. So like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So like that, once you keep practicing. So once you're able to do it nicely, then you can move on to the next step. So that is just right after you take, just catch it. But just if the ball's about to tilt, just scoop it back up. So that's the next step. For example, look, actually the ball, it won't really show where it's exactly tilting. So I kind of have to predict where it's going to fall, and then you have to just try and adjust the ball. For example, if you see, it's never tilting. But if I leave it for too long, it will just tilt and fall. Instead, I can predict where it is, and I can scoop it back up. For example, you saw I just scooped it back up. So That's the next step. So once you're able to like scoop it back up, you're actually halfway there now. So this is half of the lesson. Now from here things will start to get a little more advanced. So now with here, you just continuously keep holding and just try to get for like 3 to 4 seconds. Just keep trying because practice makes perfect. Now after you're getting that, the thing is, when I say scoop it up, doesn't mean you just have to like move it everywhere. The ball just lose control and will fall. By scoop, I mean like very lightly. You just moves very slowly. Okay, look like this. Okay, so right after you do that, just let it balance just like that. Once it gets to 3 to 4 seconds, so it means you have actually improved. But if you want to get your time even higher, then actually there are two different methods. Actually, there is only one method, but we'll go there step by step. So, so first of all, since you're using two fingers, right, and you're balancing right on your middle finger. So instead of balancing on the middle finger, there is a better option. So now that you are used to the middle finger, it it's very hard to get it correct on the first try. But just when you're done spinning, right? Just when you're finished spinning, right away change, but don't change to this position. Try and change to this only index. There is no support. There's no support or there is no middle finger alone. It's just an index, and then just now it's everything that I taught you in the first half, but just apply it using this index. So it's like the exact same thing. Just twist your hand, just drag, but try and catch it with your palm. First, just try and balance it because you won't get used to it that easily. So just balance it. Just balance it. And right after you balance it, just keep it spinning for like some 1-2 seconds. Like, okay. So right when you do that, now apply everything that I taught you in the first half, but just with the index finger. Now now what you do is just try to get the hang of it and keep it spinning. Because when you spin with the middle finger without slapping, it comes like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that was a long time. I was balancing with my nail. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel this no? Okay, honestly, actually, one advantage I forgot to say something. The advantage of the middle finger is that since it gives more support, when you're not slapping, you can hold it for more time. It's like it's easier to hold because you're having support, right? So it's a bit more easier to hold. I mean, not exactly. When you balance it on your nail, then yes, it can definitely go much more than the first finger because it's more smooth. Now, it will be tricky because it's very hard to get it spinning for more than the middle finger. But once you continuously keep spinning, once now if you're able to get like some 5-6 seconds just by spinning with this and no slapping. Don't try to slap right now. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so once you're able to get like some 7-8 seconds, then now I'll show you how to slap. So first of all, when the ball is like this, when I say slap, I'm sure you have seen in a few videos that people slap like this. They do this. But you don't directly try and copy whatever I'm doing, because then you will be wrong, definitely. Because when you're seeing people in the videos do that, they're not actually hitting it. By slapping, it's not like they are just it's not like they're just slapping the ball. By slapping, they are like slapping only the edge, which means instead of doing instead of like this, they are just slapping the edge, because when you slap the edge, it's going like even faster, right? And also, the reason they slap is because when it spins faster, you can get more control of the ball. Because if you notice, whenever it gets slower, then suddenly the ball looks like it's about to fall. But when you slap, as you see, the ball is it's barely even falling. So by slapping, when I say slapping the edge, doesn't mean you have to like not exactly like push it like so hard, but it can be a bit hard. This is what happens when you do it soft. When you do it soft, it's almost impossible to even hit the ball in this area. You're only going to hit it with your fingers, and that barely even does anything to the ball. It like barely even makes it stand. And on the other side, if you hit too hard, you're just going to fall and break something in your house. So instead, just try it like a little bit hard. Okay, so like this. It should actually be like in between your fingers and your this part. So okay, so actually you don't need to like really slap it the proper way. While it's spinning, just try to slap it. But while slapping, make sure to slap the edge only and don't push the ball. Okay, you got it now? Because and also while it's actually even spinning, you should not at all like while tilting the ball, be extremely careful while you're slapping, because if it's at the center and you slap, it's a bit easier. When it's like this and you're slapping, you need to be very careful. There are two things you need to know when it's tilted. So one, you have to slap it at the proper area, but second, you should also slap it in a kind of way that it still stays in your finger. When it's tilted and you like do it normally, it'll actually fall. When you do the proper way, when it's tilted, it'll actually fall down. Instead, there's a different method. Look, right now I'm doing this, but just when it's about to fall, you have to be like very careful. You have to actually be extremely careful with it, or else it's just gonna fall down like that. So now just try and practice on the slapping. And also by slapping, you don't need to do like extremely soft. You can even do a bit hard. Do as hard as you want, but just be extremely careful, because when you do very hard, there's a high chance you'll just hit the edge. You'll just hit it and push it down. So oh god. So instead, what you can do is just hit as hard as you want. Slap as hard as you want, but just make sure that you're only slapping the edge. Okay, so now you try to do it. Okay, so now Now that you will get, now just keep practicing and gradually you will get it. And on your first time, you don't really need to expect some 15 seconds. You can just directly, you can get like some, I don't know, 9-10 seconds. Because you won't get really that used to slap, and then slowly if you keep practicing every day, then you can definitely get to 15, maybe even 20. Actually, you can get it for as much time as you want, as long as you slap properly. So when you're on the index finger, there are two main things. Just balance it properly and slap correctly if you want it to go on forever. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how it will look like when you're finally learned slapping, and when you get it to around some 15 seconds or something. As you saw, it almost fell actually, but I was able to slap it. In the correct way. I was able to slap it in the correct way, just so it balanced in my fingers. So this will happen most of the time. It'll fall off your fingers. So if you just keep slapping it the correct way, then you'll get used to it. And also just keep practicing the slap, because most of the time you'll just get it wrong, but practice makes perfect. So keep practicing and you will get perfect at it. So I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have learned something new. Bye.